Barack Obama, birthday bash of the century. He turned 60 years old. You probably saw a lot of the imagery, a lot of the videos and photography. Kind of looked like a big party when we're in the middle of a pandemic. And a lot of people are sort of panning the party saying, oh my goodness, no masks. And this whole thing was not much social distancing. And it feels like a pretty big double standard when you're sitting at home getting your email from your school board and they say, oh, little Johnny has to mask up for the rest of the school year. Meanwhile, our royal class, the people who live above and beyond the rules, they get to go to Martha's Vineyard and spend 3 days in a very extravagant party. Okay, so that was going on, and it's very easy to sort of slam dunk and spike the football on the masks, but we're going to go one step further, and we're going to apply the U.S. Criminal Code. We're going to take a look at various different statutes here and ask ourselves whether Barack Obama and the Obama family, the Obama party, in collusion with the Secret Service and maybe even other feds, were committing some of the most heinous crimes that I have personally seen people get arrested for and imprisoned for. And so we're going to go through this, and we're going to do this piece by piece. We're going to start with a headline over from the Daily Mail. Exclusive, the party continues. BO's party, the 60th celebrations, roll into their third day with a birthday brunch over with Oprah at Martha's Vineyard. And I've got some highlights here, right? BO's 60th birthday party, Saturday night, Martha's Vineyard. Sunday, the party continued with a celebratory brunch over at Beach Road. A large crowd was seen on the balcony evening enjoying farm-to-table offerings. We've got Saturday night, former president was caught on video dancing, maskless, with his guest. Singer-songwriter Erykah Badu filmed Obama, posted a selfie. We had two DJs we're going to be spending a lot of time talking about. These are really some of the masterminds here in this criminal enterprise. They were there sharing pictures on Martha's Vineyard as well, despite there being a ban on pictures and video. Why might that be? Why might they want to ban photos of the illegalities happening there, huh? Food, cocktails. We have specially branded napkins, face masks, even the toilets were posted on social media, probably for disposing of things. We'll talk about that. Secret Service was there. They set up a no-fly zone. Obama, $12 million mansion. 300 to 400 guests were there. Alicia Keys saying happy birthday. John Legend saying happy birthday. 29-acre estate. Everybody was there, even though it was a, quote, trimmed down guest list. We had, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Gayle King, Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg, everybody else. And on Friday night, there was even a pre-party cocktail gathering at the Oceanside Resort. Okay, so we've got several different criminal statutes from the U.S. Code that we can take a look at. The first one we're going to identify is here, conspiracy. Let's take a look at U.S. Code 846, Title 21. It says, any person who attempts or conspires to commit any offense shall be subject to the same penalties as those described for the offense, okay? This is conspiracy. We see this all the time. We see this with the Governor Whitmer plotters. We see this with a lot of the January 6th defendants. And so we have to ask ourselves here, conspiracy. Is this a conspiracy? We have not defined any criminality yet, right? We haven't talked about any one of these underlying offenses. We're going to get there. But the first thing we need to do is establish a conspiracy. So let's give a look through at some of the photos that we saw. First and foremost, you can see that this looks like it's pretty dang orchestrated. This is actually a constructed tent that is being built right outside of his house, right? So this is clearly planned. It's been clearly something that has been in motion for a long time. And you're noticing, right, it's a big operation. We have a whole $12 million house right here. And these tents are bigger than the house, essentially. It goes all the way out into sort of the water, the bay. We've got two moving trucks over here. And you can see there's just a lot of activity going on. This might be a generator here for power. It's like a separate structure over there. So clearly, many people are involved in this. Certainly leads to ideas of collusion. Multiple people we have to take a look at. This is from inside the tent. Again, many people, presumably workers. Of course, nobody's wearing masks, but they are setting up the event. It doesn't really look scaled back. These look like almost like fabricated walls, very tall ceilings, not like like a tent that you might pitch if you're out there camping. And so this is a big deal. A lot of people involved in the conspiracy. This was so planned that you can take a look at these napkins here, 44 by 60, right? So the 44th president by 60, turned 60 years old, matching sunglasses, very clearly orchestrated. And this is a scene from outside the house, right? Very close, not much social distancing, not seeing many masks on these two gentlemen right here having a conversation. And so the whole thing is being orchestrated. We even have sniffer dogs that are being used to check people coming in and out of the property, right? So this is now something that you can sort of see. Why is this important? Well, we've got dogs, we've got security. So stuff that's going on inside of the property now is presumably allowed or acceptable. Okay, we have people coming to the property that are being screened, that are being checked to make sure that presumably there's nothing illegal or problematic or troublesome being brought in, right? So we have the sniffing dogs here. We've got multiple security apparatus. We have an ambulance that is ready to go. So if anybody gets injured inside the property, an ambulance is on site ready to take them away. We also have the entire Secret Service is out there. Okay, so they set up a no-fly zone around the residence, and we've got Secret Service staff. They're seen on the shoreline directly behind Obama's residence, not the president's. Now, you'll notice over here, we see some hints of potential illegalities going on over here, right? The Secret Service are in full view of this. We have a number of different libations over here, different alcoholic delights that are sort of, over here. Now, that in and of itself is not illegal. We do have some pots and maybe some manufacturing devices over here. Can't really see what those are, but certainly it looks like things might get a little bit rowdy. So we got alcohol over there. Who knows if people are going to be driving and drinking or if there's going to be any violence there, but the Secret Service is there, which they're kind of, impliedly approving this, aren't they? Okay, so Secret Service is there. Now, let's take a look at another U.S. code. I think it's pretty clear. Conspiracy exists. Secret Service is involved. Tents everywhere, all over the place. We have multiple people who are conspiring to make this thing happen. If there are illegalities that take place here, you can tie it to everybody, right? Everybody's involved in the conspiracy. Same thing that they do with all the Capitol Hill defendants, all of the January 6th protesters, all of the Governor Whitmer plotters. Everything's a conspiracy. And how do they get you on a conspiracy? Well, it's pretty simple. All they do is they just get your phone and they just tie your phone to a lot of the activity that took place. So let's go over to U.S. Code, 21 U.S. Code 843, another violation here, potentially now. We haven't identified any of the underlying criminality. We're going to get there, but we're doing some topical stuff first. It shall be unlawful for any person knowingly or intentionally to use any communication facility. Now, what is a communication facility? The statute defines that as any public or private instrumentalities used in the transmission of pictures or sounds, including mail, telephone, radio, or other means of communication. So what this means, folks, cell phones, right? If you have cell phones in the property, then and you're involved in this conspiracy and any of the underlying criminality, that's a problem. That's a whole separate offense under U.S. Code. This prohibits you from using telecommunication devices in the commission of crimes. And so here we have three pictures here of a woman who I think is Erica. You can see Erica Badu over on Instagram. Never heard of her, but apparently she's big enough to be partying with Obama. So she's hanging out over there. Now, again, no real criminality happening here, right? Now, unless you're somebody who wants to sort of define not wearing a mask as criminal, right? No mask, 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 no mask. Okay, so a lot of no masks there, and it's all being caught on cell phone footage. So obviously you might say, well, so what? There's no federal crime against wearing a mask, which is true for now. But it could easily be, right? We've heard this before, that if you don't wear a mask, you are killing somebody, right? You're actually killing me, or you're going to put my life in danger. We see that all over CNN. I think every 15 minutes, there's a rule on CNN that they have to bring the next guest out there and they have to hyperventilate on air about how you are killing their grandmother if you don't put a mask on. So for those people, if you get them on the jury and you show them this anti-masking behavior, right? You might see a significant portion of them that actually consider this to be attempted murder or reckless endangerment or something like that. It could get bad, and they're in clear violation of that. Now, I am obviously not one of those people that has a lot of complaints about the mask. Wear them or don't, I don't really care. But there are people in this country that would look at this and just say, whoo, there are going to be at least a million dead grandmas as a result of this. No masks, no masks, no masks. They're not even 6 feet apart, maybe close. But, we got a lot of air being spread around in that room. And so this could be problematic for some people. Now, this is the video footage. Again, we're taking a look at what's happening here. This is a video from inside this criminal enterprise, as we're going to see. All right, so apologies on the volume on that. That was very loud for you and in my earlobe. So, but you saw what was happening there, right? It was Barack Obama having a good time. That's all right. That's fine. No masks. That's okay. No problem at all. Let's see, though, if we can dig into this a little bit further. Now, we've done some of the heavy lifting. We know what the criminal statutes are for conspiracy and for use of a telephone in the commission of felonies. Let's take a look now and see if we can identify some real criminal behavior. And folks, this is where it gets juicy. And I do have to give a little bit of a content warning here. We are going to be looking into marijuana. Marijuana is going to be in this segment, folks, because it was running rampant around the Obamas. Let's take a look at what happened here.
Actually, we did take care of you guys, yes.
Oh, what?
We got some back there for you with a bottle, too.
Come on, man.
Whoa. I know you lying to me.
No, man.
I know.
Okay, so did you hear what he said? He said, I've got something back there for you, too, along with a bottle. So listen to that closely. Let's play that one more time.
Yeah, come on, man. You don't.
Let's listen in, because he's telling these. So there's a golf cart going into the Obamas, and he's saying, I've got something for you back there. Let's listen in closely. This is important here.
Actually, we did take care of you guys, yes.
Oh, what?
We got some back there for you with a bottle, too.
Come on, man.
I know you lying to me.
No, man.
I know you ain't.
Yeah, come on, man. You can't play with people like that, bro.
Listen. Can I? Oh, it's good.
Oh.
It's okay, yo. No, I got everything.
There it is, folks.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I would like a drink, man.
Yeah, I like a Hennessy on the rocks.
I like apple slappy cranberry or Tito's and cranberry. And cranberry.
Hennessy on the rocks.
Tito's and cranberry.
Yeah.
Tito's and cranberry.
Oh, this is presidential. Presidential.
This is presidential, folks. That's an admission right there.
What you doing? Okay.
Whoa.
Done a lot of things before. Never smoked at the president's crib.
Oh, that's an indictment right there, folks. Never smoked at the president's crib. Oh, my goodness. You know, marijuana is still illegal federally, all right? Let's dive into this statute here. 21 U.S. Code 844, penalties for simple possession. So that person clearly in violation of federal law. It is unlawful for any person to intentionally possess a controlled substance. You can read the rest of the statute there. Now, the thing I wanted to point out here, white cookies, and you'll notice it says 19% THC. Uh-oh. So 19% THC, which is, you know, it's not even any good weed, unfortunately for them. You know, those are amateur numbers. You know, if you really want to get into the high potency strains, those are going to be significantly more than that, something like 20 to 25%. 19%, you know, for an average strain, 18 to 20% is typically what you see. But nowadays, it's legal in most places. So the strain, the numbers are actually higher than that. That's kind of, you know, garbage weed. But it's kind of socialist weed, really, if you want to get down to it, kind of communist weed over there. But that's what they've got. Now, my question was, why is that percentage not higher, right? You would imagine that if you're the president, former leader of the free world, you've got some, you know, 25% stuff, some really ridiculous stuff. And they didn't. So either Obama's given him the terrible marijuana, or this is illegal. He couldn't bring in the good stuff because he had to, you know, bootleg it in there under the dark of night. So it's really complicated. I don't know, but it is something that you want to look into. 19%, right? Whatever it is. Okay. So we've got that simple possession. That's pretty obvious. We also have this concept here of what's called a continuing criminal enterprise. U.S. Code 848, also a violation of this. Let's see here. A continuing violation if a person is engaged in a continuing criminal enterprise. If there's a, let's see, continuing series of violations here, which are undertaken by such a person in concert with 5 or more other persons, right? Occupies a position of organizer, which I think would implicate Barack Obama clearly, or Michelle or somebody from the team, right? Somebody who organized all of this is responsible. Position of management. Let's see, 20 years for running a continuing criminal enterprise is, I think it's justified for what we saw there. Continuing criminal enterprise, 20 years, $2 million fine also as well. So, all right, here, now it says mandatory minimum of 20 years. Mandatory life and death penalty is available also under certain circumstances. So, yeah, I'm not sure if this matches. Leader of an organization, engaged in a continuing series of drug violations. So I'm not sure if I would categorize it as continuing, you know, because it was just sort of a 3-day thing. Maybe we'll see. Now here we have the two sort of masterminds, TJ Chapman and DJ Musician, and then Trap Beckman. They shot footage and snapped photos while talking to their followers. Wow, okay. So, all right, well, that's another one. They're smoking cannabis. So, yeah, I think it does, right? It's a series of drug violations. You could find a U.S. prosecutor who found that to be factual. Yeah, it's a continuing series of drug violations. And their communist weed was delivered as well. How about this? We have U.S. Code 856. And if you think I'm being facetious here, there are people that are charged for drug crimes under circumstances like this. They're not the president who's turning 60 on Martha's Vineyard. These are people who are, 25 to 30 who are having parties in inner city Chicago. Different rules for different folks. Okay, so how about this one? 21 U.S. Code 856, maintaining a drug-involved premises. How about this? Maintain any place, whether permanently or temporarily, even temporarily, for the purpose of distributing any controlled substance. That's it right there, folks. Maintaining a place. They actually built a place, right? They opened and maintained this place that was for the purpose of distributing drugs and having a party. Even the Secret Service members were out there with booze. All right. We have any person who violates this section, another 20 years, federal law there. And if Barack Obama doesn't like this, well, he could just take it up with Joe Biden, because Joe Biden is responsible for a lot of this. He wrote these laws back in the 1980s and 1990s. U.S. Code 856 includes the owners and the landlords of these rental properties. All right, well, there's Obama running the whole thing. Here's the back end. Okay, we've got some other evidence of criminality over here. Alcohol. We have a toilet over here for flushing drugs down the toilet, if you're concerned about this. Luxury toilets, right? Kind of dark, alcohol, dark and seedy environments. Toilet for flushing Hunter Biden's crack pipe down here. Hunter Biden can actually use this. This is supposed to be for marshmallows, right? Or crack. So conveniently, they have this little crack booth set up. No, we're doing s'mores over here, roasting marshmallows. Yeah, right. Give me a break. All right. So that was all pertinent to maintaining a drug-involved premises. This is also known by the feds as the crack house statute. So I think that fits because we have a crack pipe, crack heating device over here. So the crack house statute I think is appropriate. And our last U.S. code here is 1952, interstate in foreign travel or transportation for racketeering, right? So whoever travels in interstate or foreign commerce or uses mail or any facility to commit any crime of violence furthering the unlawful activity. Oh my gosh. And look, folks, look at these just monsters. Can you believe this? I got Stephen Colbert over there flying into the Obama's crack house along with John Legend and Chrissy Teigen. They are clearly in interstate travel, right? You don't need this much stuff to just go to a birthday party. So they are engaged in interstate travel. And even, folks, Hunter Biden's ex-wife, Kathleen, showed up along with daughter Finnegan. But I don't know why Hunter Biden wasn't there, or Joe Biden. Where was Joe Biden on this thing? Were they there either? All right. So that was a segment, wasn't it? Let's take a look at some questions. I know we've got a lot of questions on this segment. So let's hop on over to watchingthewatchers.locals.com. And if you asked a question about this segment previously, I did not get it because I'm resend those and we'll get to them in this segment. All right. So we have our first one here. Nope. That one is from the last segment. We have Barrack Obama says, "Hey, Hunter, at my birthday party, would you give me millions of dollars when you were part of the infrastructure deal if I I can't say that. All right. Three Girlie says, I'm surprised. That was from the last segment. I think I got that. We're a little bit out of order on this. We got Sergeant Bob says, why not in his native Chicago with Mayor Lightfoot? Too many unhinged criminals with firearms that Chicago PD is discouraged from interfering with despite a huge percentage of victims from one particular racial group. Much safer at a secluded estate on Cape Cod, Ted Kennedy's favorite party place. Yeah, so Sergeant Bob is saying, why'd they go out there to Martha's Vineyard over there? Why aren't they doing this in Chicago, where Barack Obama was a senator for a long time? That's a good point. Gavin Newsom says, I missed the party. They told me it was at the French Laundry. I thought they liked me. Sorry, Gavin. You're on the outs, brother. I think you're going to lose your recall election, and you're no longer part of the in club anymore. Hopefully that happens. Thunder7 says, but Rob, the rules are for the slaves like us. They don't apply to the plutocrat elites. Leave them alone. Anyone who criticizes the Obamas are racist. white supremacists and Nazis. I know I'm part of the problem over here. Thank you, Thunder7. We have Screw the Mainstream Media, who says, in Australia, the mainstream media are pro-lockdown, pro-vaccine, and mask mandate. They spew propaganda about COVID. 9 News keeps talking about the COVID measure. On Barack Obama party, they conveniently did not talk about the lack of masks and vaccinated people. Mainstream media will present themselves as neutral when reporting inconvenient topics, but when it comes to their political narrative, they either lambast or speak positively of. Screw the mainstream media. Yeah, you're going to see that, right? And it's like a... folks, I don't care about the marijuana at all, right? I don't care about it for a second. I think it is ridiculous, though, that we have people who are still being incarcerated for this stuff under those statutes. That's kind of the point of that whole segment. This is all true in federal law. Those are all real statutes, and they can all be applied to any person you apply them to, right? In this case, it was obnoxious and obvious that this was sort of, being facetious and over the top, I think. But it's also something that happens every single day in this country. People are brought in under charges for those criminal statutes for marijuana violation. Our rulers at be have no qualms about letting that stuff run rampant in their properties. But if they catch you doing it in a state where it's not legal, you might actually go to prison for that, right? It happens. And it happens in situations with people that have prior backgrounds, right? Somebody has got prior 3 felonies. They get caught with a marijuana joint. Boom. That's a 4th offense. We have a 3-strike rule. Thank you, Barack Obama. I'm sorry, Joe Biden. Talking about Barack Obama right now. But it is a problem. They don't ever get in trouble for it. Everybody else does. KGB Gulag says, what to bet that Barack Obama would send the KGB to arrest Erykah Badu for making Barack Obama look like a fool? They'd probably be sent to the Gulag and probably get Epstein. Yeah, I'm sure she is uninvited from all future Barack Obama parties. We've got Peely Wally says, hey, Rob, I'm pretty sure I saw Hunter Biden in disguise at the party. Come on, man. That guy can sniff out an illegal act anywhere and jump right into the middle of it to enjoy. Are you proud of me, Dad? Come on, man. Yeah, that's from Peely Wally. So it was either Hunter Biden was there in disguise or his ex-wife, I think Hallie, who I think, was she also his brother's ex-wife too? Maybe, I'm not sure. But she had that suitcase that looked pretty empty. She's probably bringing back all the illegal drugs and crack and the crack pipe back to Hunter in the White House. We have Aircraft Mech says, the reason the weed, why 19% is funny. All night Obama would say, anybody want the COVID-19? Inhale it, baby. Yeah, 19%. And I like how they wrote 19% on there. Like that's a big, like that matters, right? We have over here, we've got Want to Know says, Rob, you're talking about the greatest, smartest black president the USA ever had. He didn't invite me. What about the private jets that are murdering the whole planet by global warming and killing animals and old people by the heat waves? That's true. Every single jet that touched down there was murdering your future children and their future children. How do you feel about that, America? We have another one here coming in, says, Chris Cuomo said, did you see New York Governor Cuomo? I thought I saw him. Was Chris Cuomo there? I think both those guys are in hiding. They should certainly be. All right, well, let's see what came in over on YouTube. We have over here, this was, I think, from the last segment, but Mr. Ted Offensive says, I can't believe Dick DeGuerin is involved with this. It would be like Robert Barnes letting one of his partners file something like that. I just can't see it. It's pronounced DeGuerin. Thank you for that. Yeah, for Mr. Ted Offensive. I can't imagine either. I poked around their website. This was from the last segment. I poked around their website, and it looked pretty reputable. So to have an attorney file a document like that with the other law firm's email address on it. So I think he just probably forgot to copy and paste the correct bottom part. Or maybe he's filing lawsuits like sort of counsel from DeGuerin. But he used the Washington law firm and then signed DeGuerin and Dixon, DeGuerin.com. DeGuerin.com. So it sort of is hinting that maybe he's connected with the firm. Does DeGuerin want that lawsuit being filed on his name, under his name? Probably not. We have over here, says Barack Obama says, I love celebrating my birthday after drone striking hundreds of Muslims. Booyah. That's from Barack Obama in the house. He's still having a good time. We have VP says, with the super chat, says, there were children there, John Legend. How many years for that? Yeah, that's a good question. That's right. Criminal endangerment of a minor. Look, they're already in pretty hot water. You saw 20 years, 20 years, 20 years. It's just it's only going to get worse from there. So they're in trouble. And I think that's it for the super chats and for the questions over from watchingthewatchers.locals.com. I want to thank all of our great questions that came in today. We had some new members who signed up over there supporting us at that community. Let me get some shout outs because we got some good signups this weekend. Big shout out over to JM Allen 4411. Thank you for joining us. We've got Radase in the house, signed up for the year. Grateful to have you as well for the full year. We got Stoic RD in the house. Love Stoicism. By the way, that book, The Daily Stoic, is something that I check in with. I don't read it daily, but for me, it's like the weekly Stoic, and I sort of catch up on the days. Love it. It's been actually very good. I'm trying to read it more on the daily, but the Daily Stoic, it's like $8 on Amazon. Goodbye. Thank you for being here, Stoic. We got Wendy Deer is here. Hello, Wendy Deer. We have D. Rodig 188. Saw him in the chat over here today. We've got Laura SB. Welcome to you as well. I'm glad that you're here. We have The Real Patriot who signed up. The Real Patriot in the house, along with Mary B. 585. So grateful for all of you to join our community. You signed up over the weekend. I'm thrilled to have you. Shout outs to the people who signed up last week. Christina G. We have Dutch Cheese, Outside Voice, Teeny Teen, Easy, and Atul 144 all signed up, and we're grateful to have you. We have a monthly meetup coming up soon here in a couple weeks. We got on August 28th. 2021, 7 to 8 p.m. We have a Zoom meetup that we have. I think this is I can't remember. I think this is our fifth one. Maybe our fourth one. I don't know. But they're a lot of fun. We have about 35 to 40 people on, and we sort of just turn the cameras on if you want, turn them off if you don't. And we just kind of get to know each other, ask some questions, and offer some feedback and some suggestions for the show. And it's a lot of fun. And so we would love it if you joined us on the next one, as well as joining our community, because a lot of people post a lot of great things over there. I'm spending a little bit more time sort of, commenting and then, gathering some information for some of the other projects that I'm working on. And so all of that is being curated and cultivated and nurtured lovingly. We want you to come join our community at watchingthewatchers.locals.com. So go and check us out. Once again, I want to thank everybody who signed up and joined us recently over there. Big thanks to all the super chats that came in today. Really do appreciate that. Curtis Bartle, Ben Dover, David Elkins, Angela B, Newbie of Death reviews stuff. We got Lava Java Lava in the house. Didn't have a message, but Lava Java Lava, it's been a long time since I've seen you, my friend. I'm glad that you're back here. We got Mr. Ted Offensive with several of those. I appreciate him, along with VP and others. Thank you all for your continuing support. Over on Locals, big shout outs before we wrap up for the day. We got Farmer's Daughter, Vienticus Prime. We've got I'm Not Gas, Gertjan Decker, Farmer's Daughter, Tweak, and many others over there. Over on YouTube, final goodbyes over to Curtis Bartle. We've got K-Bean, Real Fanning, Weeby, and Zorro. Appreciate all of you. It's been a lot of fun, my friends. We're going to be back here, same time, same place tomorrow, 4 p.m. Arizona time, 5 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. on the East Coast. And for that one Florida man, everybody else have a tremendous evening. Sleep very well. I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for watching. Before you head out, I want to just remind you that I am a criminal defense lawyer here in Scottsdale, Arizona, where my team and we've got a long history of helping good people facing criminal charges to find safety, clarity, and hope in their cases and beyond that in their lives. Our phone number for a free case evaluation is 480-787-0394. You can also find us online at www.rrlawaz.com. We can help with any type of criminal charge in the state of Arizona. Things like DUI, drug offenses, misdemeanor offenses. And we can also help with clearing up old case records, like expunging cases or making sure that you can restore your rights so that you can vote again or possess a firearm again or apply for some other federal benefits. We can remove mugshots off the internet. Basically, anytime that you or somebody you know or love is in trouble with the law in the state of Arizona, we have an amazing team of people. We would just love the opportunity to help. And our phone number, of course, 480-787-0394. And if you don't need any legal services, that's a very good thing. But you may be interested in some informational offerings so that you are prepared if you do have to deal with the police. And of course, I want to invite you to head on over to gumroad.com/Robert Gruler. You'll notice here, I've got several different trainings that are available, including the law enforcement interaction training. This is the 1, 2, 3 rule for dealing with the police. It's one rule you need, 2 questions that the police can ask of you, and 3 responses if they ask you a problematic question. So that's available now. You can also get a load at my personal productivity system here called Existence Systems. Fun little course. And then we have here, if you're a lawyer or a legal professional, be sure to check out this program. We are meeting twice every month. Again, all of this over at Gumroad locals.com/Robert Gruler. And if none of that sounds any good to you, well, just go ahead and give us a follow, because I'm working on some other products and some other offerings. And of course, if you have not already done so, want to invite you one more time to head on over to watchingthewatchers.locals.com. It's where you can support the show, and it's where we can connect. We've got monthly Zoom meetings and a lot of other goodies coming up. So I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much for watching, and for all of your love and support. I will see you on the next one.